I have talked about this topic umpteen times before. Umpteen times before. And it's like a passion topic, right? But no, it's a topic of cautionary tales. It's a topic of my own cautionary tales. And so, those of you who have listened to me, I tell so many stories in so many transparent ways that you may feel like, hey, I heard this story before. And that's fine. No matter how you hear the story, the point is the lesson that I'm teaching from every story. The party line, social media, co-workers are all the same thing. I want you to write that down. I want you to pull out a journal and write that down. The party line, social media, and co-workers are all the same thing. Online dating are your co-workers, the social media world, and the party line. Actually, all the online dating is the party line. I want you to get that through your head. And by understanding and knowing these things in verbatim, this will be the proper protection that you need in your life. You see, if you know about the party line, then you had a life where you lived in a secret society. If you're a millennial and you know about the party line, you have lived a life in a secret society. You do need to sleep. Yeah, good night. Why are you here? And this is continuing from a topic I was just having with someone while I was going, getting off of work. And this is something I was thinking about. And I saw their message and I had to call them and share with them, but we spoke briefly. We adults, we got things to do. And seriously, today I was thinking literally this before I clocked out. I said, everybody here at this job is a troll. Everybody here in this job is a troll or a podcaster. But I said more so a troll. And you know what else? A fucking hater. I said that. Absolute cowards. I started noticing that people who walk a certain way are incels and themselves. People who dress a certain way are incels and themselves. That being intelligent in America can feel so alone. Not having friends is something that can make people feel, or people make people feel some type of way. But I pose this to you all. You say that males are not for your friends, and we say that all the time. But are females your friends? What do you have friends for? What do you have male friends for? What do you have female friends for? Have you looked at the personality of people who have said a lot of friends? Have you heard stories of people who have lost friends because of a life choice that they have made or because of someone they chose to be with? Are those people truly their friends? What does all this stuff even mean? But let me get to the party line to help you understand what it is. First of all, there are commercials for the party line. I'm not doing no screen share. There are commercials for the party line. I forgot about these commercials. So people from the 70s and 80s on the party line, and they would talk on here and all these different things, right? But here's what's really happening. The guy, Jerry, He said, "This is Jerry. Welcome to the party line." And he said he invented this party line so you don't have to give anybody your phone number, so you can protect yourself. So you can come here. You can come on a party line and talk to a stranger. So you can protect yourself because we didn't have what we have today. We didn't have block buttons and all that stuff. Block buttons and stuff came when YouTube was invented. We'll get to that in a minute. So all these people from the party line had a lifestyle. There was jokes that you knew. There are names that you knew. There are people you knew of. There are people you knew their life stories. There are people I've met off the party line. And I'll tell you the three people I met off the party line and what kind of personality they had. And boy, I'm going to just give a big old trigger warning, okay? First of all, if you was on that party line, your life was troubled and you was trying to find somewhere to escape. And as a teenager or even young adult in this world, you didn't have a real social life with people. You see, we have been bullied to socialize with people. Has anyone caught on to that? We have been bullied to interact with people. I spent my life going to the library and minding my business and doing the things that I wanted to do. I spent my life having dreams and ambitions and writing books when I was a young girl. I spent my life doing all this shit. And I look at all the shit that has happened to me and I'm just like, huh? Why didn't nobody nurture that? Why did nobody pay attention to me as a child? Why did nobody ever understand my dreams and make my dreams happen? Why was I so thrown away? And that's how I found the party line. But there was a lot who had a more unfortunate situations than myself. There were orphan kids. There were, kids who really kind of life was similar to mine, but just a little worse. There were runaways and all these different things that was on the party line. And there was a lot of disabled, a lot of mentally disabled. Because remember, it was a time when the autistic and the what you call the mentally ill and the PTSD people and all that stuff, they stayed in the house. That's what was associated with being in the house and not coming outside. You was associated with being kind of slow or off. Remember that? But now these slow and off people on social media or promoting their mental illness and all this manipulative shit and all this stuff, right? But let's get back to the party line. The party line had sayings and it was like get up, that's what they would say, get up when they would argue with somebody. Sometimes people would follow somebody into the room and be like, yeah, nigga, you thought you was safe, and they started arguing with them and they would argue for hours. They will argue for hours. I put in my time, nigga. I argued for 20 hours. And 20 hours, we know that anybody who argues like that is definitely somebody who has plenty of time on their hand. And these were adults. These weren't young people. There was people on a party line pretending to be the opposite sex. There was a guy that told me he was acting like he was a stud to get to this woman, to get to this girl. And I'm just like, damn, that's horrible. You had people who identified friendship by proximity or people that they talked to or people who were around them, meaning people who were around them in the party line. So let's say one of you were in the party room that I often was. Let's say I always go to the back room. Maybe I go to room 10 because it's more quiet. There's not a lot of people there. And so you be in room 10 and then you hear me talking to other people in room 10. Whatever name that they make up for themselves is in room 10 and all these different things. And so let's say another year or two or whatever, room 10, next you know, we take our three numbers and we take our private number and we start talking to each other. And then from that, it goes on into we talk to each other, it gets personal, and then it turns into us meeting each other and who knows what else. But let me tell you what happened to women who met these men on a party line. And I want to tell you now as a grown woman, these stories are horrific. Horrific. There was once a lady who met a guy. What was his name? I remember he was a Pisces. I can't remember his damn name. Quarter Water. He went by the name Quarter Water. Quarter Water was a character. He had a family that had money, Jamaican, had a house. He was from the same place I was from, Jamaica, Queens. I happened to actually see him, and he was eating chips and he was on a payphone, but we'll get back to that later. And he also it was women that actually was in relationships with this man. And there was one woman who was, she sound just like Cardi B, y'all. I can't make it up. She sound just like Cardi B, and she was from Harlem. Okay? And they end up together with her and her children in the house. And it ended up them arguing on the party line. And she happened to be playing a game and she was upset and was like, there's water inside of my video game. And anytime that anybody ever heard this woman, she was always on that game. Then you had the pleasant people who made their own beats, who did creative things and stuff like that. You had your, I forgot that one Aquarius guy, I forgot his name, but he made beats all the time and his shit was like really good. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he made something out of it because I heard a lot of beats after that. It was some beats and I was like, damn, is that him? But yeah, you had those pleasant people that were on there. You had the pleasant people like myself that talked about astrology and spirituality and learned more about spirituality and stuff and talked to people like, you know, a guy named Intelligent and stuff like that. Now, let's keep going. So you had that. You had women who had got into relationships with men on this party line and they began to abuse them and their children. You had males on that party line. I never forget one. I'm going to give a trigger warning here. That was sick fucks. It was a Haitian guy. He came home and he was upset that his sister, his little sister, who was like 15, 16, let his children watch Family Guy. And he was really angry and he beat her over that. And then the next thing you know, everyone was calling this man a pedophile and say he touched kids and this, that, and the third. Right? And I remember I was disturbed. I was like, why the fuck is he beating her? Because she, like, if she's a kid herself, it's a cartoon, you know? But these sick fucks were the people on the party line. Then I noticed the friendship duo, the femcel, you know, the Jamaican guy and this Jamaican woman who is sexually promiscuous and very beautiful, you know, have a nice body because I know because men met her. And then dude told me, the guy I had was cool with, he told me how she's not easy to get to, like she's not easy to get to, right? And I remember she was talking to the Jamaican guy she was friends with, and she was like how she literally liked this guy and how she was going to be with him, and he was like, oh, he ain't going to be with you, you're a slut, or some shit he said. I was like, whoa, this is your friend? Okay. Nancy was her name. That's what it was. Her name was Nancy. Oh, she hated me. Nancy hated me. Every chance she got, Nancy argued with me. Unfortunately, somebody got my real face because I always had a not my real face, I'm sorry. I had a fake picture of myself of a fat light-skinned girl. And Nancy's dark skinned. So she used to scream and argue with this light-skinned girl and talk about her sexuality and say she's confused and all type of shit, you know. Anyway, this is the femcel incel relationship. And the Jamaican guy I knew because another woman knew him personally. I didn't know him, but I knew of him because another woman named Keisha knew him personally and said how he lived in the basement of his family. Again, these are all party line people. Keisha was very jealous of me Keisha was extremely jealous of me. Keisha was jealous of the fact of the freedom that I had. I had my own apartment. I had my daughter. We would go to the beach when we wanted to go. We would have so much fun together. I was doing my YouTube stuff, and I'm a beautiful woman. And, I just lived life. And she was just so very jealous of that because she was somebody who, because the SW, she met a guy online. Yeah, she met a guy online. She, you know what happened? Every time she was online, she said she would sit in the room while he talked. He was one of the people that was in the crew, the crew that talked about that conscious hotep shit. Oh yeah. It was a crew of us that was doing that shit. Cause I was bullshitting for a minute. And then I started showing myself and I started really talking, and then people understood I knew the shit that I knew. And so she would sit around him in the chat room, and excuse me, on a party line, and she would sit with him. And then one day they went private, and he passed her his phone number, his actual house number. And when they met in person, he put his head down. He was really shy. He didn't even know how to talk to her. Eventually they got together. They were eventually together. You can tell they were together because they were talking to each other on the party line and stuff like that, and these different things. Well, something happened between them. She was in her Saturn return. Number one, he lied his age to her. He was way older than what he told her he was. Okay. Red flag right there. They still got together. And then when they was together, he kept wanting to have a baby. And she was not ready for that. She was only Keisha was a rooster, so she's 3 years older than me. So I was still in my 20s at the time. I've been retired. I've been retired that party line. I retired the party line when I was like 26. And so she had to be that age. Now that I think about it, she had to be like 26 years old. Okay. I probably was a little younger, but I'm gonna go for 20. I'm gonna say she was 26. And so she didn't want that. She wanted to keep her career. She was working for social services. She even thought about becoming a nurse. She wanted to, she was working with social services where she actually came into people's houses, checked on their houses, and she was a field social service worker. So if she saw something that she didn't like, she would actually write, she can report you to ACS or whatever, because she kind of was ACS in her own way, right? CPS. Why do I keep saying ACS? It's CPS, okay? So this was her life. Something happened, and I think he probably tried to put his hands on her or got in her face. Something happened because this man met her family and everything. They were really in a relationship, and they were together. But when it happened, she flipped out on him on the party line. She cursed him out, called him a faggot, all kind of stuff. His feelings was hurt. He was like, "You don't have to lie. You didn't have to lie on me. I would never do that. You didn't have to lie." And so that was the nasty little thing that they had happened to him. I don't think they were completely broken up, because she called in one day and was like, "Get off this phone," or whatever happened. That's said, she was just extremely jealous of me. I don't, it was weird. It was really weird. But yeah. Anyway, this is the life of the party line. But I'm going to go a little darker. There was a guy. Oh, yeah. The woman was an Aries. He was, I want to say, an Aries too, or a Pisces. But I don't recall his zodiac sign in this moment. Would you believe this man had a baby with a woman? They both met each other from the party line, had a baby together. He took the baby stroller and threw it on the motherfucking roof. You heard me. He did all kind of horrific shit to this woman. And his behavior, he don't need to be around no child, correct? But this is the life of these women, these femme cells from the party line. And then there was another one where after she had a baby by a guy on the party line, he fucked her life up. He abandoned her. He abused her. She was on the party line screaming at him drunk, talking about the baby need pampers, the baby need money. Where are you? Fuck, turned into a whole show on a party line. But what is my point? My point is the world of work, the party line, social media is a big, nasty world of femme cells and incels. Let's not forget about the femme cell. I didn't know she had a name until now. Could never find a name for her. But now I have one because femme cell is a little too nice to call her that, because a lot of times that woman is pretty goddamn promiscuous. Very promiscuous, if you ask me. So it's kind of hard to refer to the party line woman as a femme cell. But let's keep going. You need to understand, you have people who will purposely dog you out, hurt your feelings, ghost you to fulfill something within themselves. But also, people know that they're hiding. People know that they're fucked up. People know that they ain't shit. And if you get close enough, you're going to find out why. You're going to find out why they attracted someone doing something so horrific to them like that. You're going to find out why they attract family members who just don't have respect for them and just curse them out and do what they do to them. You're going to find out why they had this rapes, this art, this essay story that they told you. Are you going to find out how ancestral that these people are, how R-wordy they are, how do you get what I'm saying? How nasty and perverted they are. And they don't want you to get close enough to find out. And that's why you get ghosted. Or maybe they're not at all who they say that they are. And that's why you get ghosted. Or that's why you get dismissed or disrespected. All of these different things. But why does it happen? Because I need you all to understand that these spaces, these people, it was a word used today, and the word was nefarious. I could never find the word. And that word is so perfect. It's so nefarious. But you have to understand why. I'm not giving you a reason to have compassion or empathy. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you the reason. It was a lady in a wheelchair. She's a Jewish lady. I don't recall her name from the party line. She was one of the sweetest people that I have ever met. And she made a point. And the point that she made, she said, y'all are young people. They was trying to drag her. She said, y'all young people. Y'all shouldn't be here. Something is wrong with all you young people on the party line. I'm an older woman. It makes sense for me to be in my wheelchair in my house, retired on this party line. This is where I belong. But y'all are young. Y'all should be outside. Y'all should be living life. Y'all should be doing things being young. I would have never been on the party line at this age. And that shit slapped me when she said that. I was in my kitchen cooking, my first apartment, just in there cooking. And I listened to her and I said, oh, wow. She's right. She's so right. Why am I here? And then something happened to me. I want you to understand how beautiful the universe works. One day, I don't know how, but I slipped into a room with some people. And I think somebody, the guy that was, it was a guy in the room, right? I remember him because me and him used to chat all the time, and he ended up having a baby with a Dominican woman. And oh boy, she grew him up. Oh, she grew him up. He was the one of the most silliest people, but he was a man after after the baby with her. And it was him. It was this guy named uh something. His real name was Sean. I knew his real name. His real name was Sean. I want to say Marcel was his name, or Marcus or something was his name. I don't recall right now, but I know that. And it was this other Guyanese lady who was just retarded. And so he was like, I'm trying to get, he was talking about me. Said, I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to find out who she is and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm in there. I remember I was cooking salmon. That's what the fuck I was cooking, salmon. And I listened because I was young and my spirit couldn't believe what the fuck it was hearing. I said, I listened. The chick was like, I don't fuck with her, so I don't give a fuck. I don't know shit about her because I don't fuck with her, you know. And dude, the dude, honestly, he did know a little about me. Like he knew where I was from, stuff like that. But he didn't know me. But he had enough little bit of information to give to him. He was like, nah, like I said, I think he was a Pisces. He probably had a sense of something. Cause he was just like, he wasn't with it. He was just like, nah, I ain't getting with this. So it's funny because the same chick used to always scream and holler at me and scream to the top of her lungs and scream, 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 was the same chick who was just like, nah, I don't fuck with her. You see? And so I spoke up and I said, you mean to tell me you motherfucking losers are sitting here talking about me? And they was like, oh, there she go, ah. And I would say after that incident, it was terrifying to me. I won't lie to you. It scared me. It scared me that people I don't even know, would wanna, what you call today, dox me. Like, what the fuck did I do? I was one of the most quietest, calm people. What was the problem? And eventually, I got attacked a lot, bro. I got attacked a lot. And eventually I retired. I got the fuck off of there. I was like 25, 26 years old. I retired from the party line. But you are looking amongst people on a party line in your day-to-day life. Party line people have all migrated to social media. And I believe that was on purpose. I believe social media was all prepared. I believe the party line was a social experiment. Because the things I hear from the party line is no different than what I hear today. People have betrayed people. People have exposed people and put their children and doxed them and put their children in CPS and got their children taken away from them. People still do that to this day. What you call doxing, there was no word for it. But now doxing is what they did, and it was horrible from the party line. This is why now, when it comes to CPS, you can't just call and say anything. They've caught on to what people are doing, that if certain people call in about, if they don't have enough information to verify that they know what they're talking about, they can be in line to be in trouble. You see what I'm saying? So that's why now if you make a CPS call and you kind of get grilled a little bit, or you kind of seem nonchalant because of people like this. People have stolen people's social security. People have R-word people. People have all of this. But here's the bigger picture. What reason do these males and females have to go run back to the party line or social media and tell you about somebody's life? What reason do these people have to go run back? And do you know you were dealing with a lot of mentally ill people, people who had deep traumas that they were just sitting home with, people who had real fucked up behavior? real sick behavior, these are the people that was amongst you. And these sick minded motherfuckers are the same ones right now on your social media trolling you. And you're just like, what the fuck is this fuck shit? What is this retarded shit? That Riri shit? Because that's exactly what is going on. You're dealing with very low brain people. When we all was on a party line talking about astrology and numerology and Moorish science and all this stuff, do you know they blew the line up, meaning that when you come on, you just hear a bunch of noise and static and nobody can talk? You know who figured that out? That Sean guy. Even though, like I said, I can't remember I knew that was his name, but I don't remember his party line name right now. It's not hitting me. But I think it was like, I'm telling you, I think it was like Maurice or Marcus or something with an M. And this is what he did. And it was a woman named SP that I used to talk to that was really crazy. And SP was very close to him. SP was a little off. She was a little crazy. She was a Pisces. And this was her friend. And she knew his mama. She talked to his mom. And she even said, he said out his mouth, when people see me, they think I'm attractive. He was an Aries. I remember he was Aries of the March Aries. They think I'm attractive, but they don't know that something is really wrong with me. And I hate that. And I hate that people don't know what's wrong with me, but they just see this big, attractive guy. And that is mostly what is going on with the incel and the femcel. You are dealing with people who are low brained. You are dealing with people who are damn near slow. But see, you have to understand that people who are slow also are channelers. See, you look at R. Kelly, I'm going to bring it there, and you go, this man ain't smart enough to do this shit. Like, let's call it what it is. You really look at R. Kelly and you say to yourself, I don't really think this man is smart enough to orchestrate something to do all of this. Right? And that is exactly where the manipulation and the connivingness and the wickedness comes in. See, these people who are a little off and slow, they can come around and they can talk astrology and spirituality with you. They can come around and talk about very spiritual things. They can come around and they can, hold on. One second, responding to a message. They can come around and blend in with you. That's what they do. And then the next thing you know, you think you have a friend. You think you have someone to talk to. Think you have somebody to have an in-depth conversation with, right? And then as you keep getting and you stay around for a little while and you start getting to know them and pieces of them, their lives is in complete shambles. And you'd be like, well, what happened to all this spiritual stuff that we talked about? And their lives in complete shambles, and their life is not reflecting the life that you are truly living. And then you want to call this person, most of the time they try to push friendship on you and stuff like that. Again, that's the manipulation. And they push themselves around you and they gossip with you and all this kind of stuff. But they also are very good at channeling. But then when you look at their life, something is a little off. Something is always off. In all reality, intelligent people, right, or people who have lived the life that they live and they are busy the way that they are, doesn't really have time to talk like that. The only people you make time to that capacity to talk to are anyone you're in an actual romantic physical relationship with, right? Because you need time together. Okay? You need time together. And you need to make time to get to know each other, so you spend time together. Correct? That's what you do with people who that's you understand what I'm saying? That you hold on, y'all. These are people that you care about closely. Friend is someone that you have some kind of co-worker beneficial connection with. Do you get what I'm saying? Like a friend is like, this is my friend that I make music with. This is my friend I play instruments with. This is my friend I write songs with. Okay, this is my friend that I work with. This is my friend that helps me out when I do something. Here, this is a friend that I pay to do this for me. This is a friend. That's what I think friendship is about, or is supposed to be about. Like a co-worker relationship. Like honestly. But what happens with the femcel incel relationship from the party line? Their whole intentions is to hurt you. Their whole intentions is to play the long game and to be around you and to stick around you and always throw back in your face everything that they remember, no matter how much changes and transformation that you make in your life, no matter how much you do something new and different to make your life better. They have to always try to be there to remind you of everything that they remember about you. And they are so strange that they will even start telling you how much they've been watching you before they met you. This is that strange party line, social media, co-worker thing. I have a co-worker who is a superior to me, and he went talking and he showed pretty much that he knew who my family was. I was like, oh, you know my family. Family for real. Okay, I haven't seen my aunt in a while. I didn't get caught up with that. Okay, this is a small town. It's very possible that many of you know my family. If I told you who my family is, right? That's a sign of an incel. That's a sign of a creep. That's a sign of someone who's a bit of a stalker. See, these little things, they play a long game before they say it. I had a woman I was talking to that I have really liked offline, but hey, I was super lonely because I should have banged the phone on her the first time we talked. And the next thing you know, she goes, oh, I remember you used to always do artwork with ASAP Rocky and this, that, and the third. And it's like, huh? They love to throw that curveball at you. There's this sense of power, but what you're dealing with is slow people. I need you to understand this. The place where people can be channeled and do the most wicked stuff is through a slow motherfucker. A Riri motherfucker is the most dangerous one, because anything, I tell y'all this all the time, write this down, anything can channel through them. That's why they can say the most mean and most hateful shit to you, because that's a slow motherfucker. They're just so very hateful. Let me tell you something. It's too many stories I can tell you of having people around me that did not like me at all, that were jealous of me, that were envious of me, that hated me. And it would be people to be like, no, ain't nobody jealous and hateful. No, 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 no. Envy, jealousy, and hatefulness runs deeper than what you can understand. You have people who will stalk you. Okay? People who will stalk you just because you look like somebody that took their boyfriend or girlfriend. You have a beauty to somebody who, that would never want them. Do you pay attention to catfish? Why do you think catfish exists? Catfish exists because what catfish is doing is showing you how fucked up everybody is. I pretended to be a girl named Rosa because I hated Rosa. Rosa thought she was all that. Rosa thought she was better than everybody. Rosa was mean. I hated Rosa. And clearly he's pretending to be a woman. He's a gay guy. So we know he wanted to be just as pretty as Rosa. We don't know who Rosa is. I feel sorry for Rosa if he's telling the truth. You have these people that's like, yeah, I know how to do the stock and I know how to ask people for money and I just take money from people. And it's like, you look at this motherfucker and clearly there's something very slow and wicked in their eyes. When I go to pay my phone bill, the woman has a son that's very slow and I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't look at him because it's just something so wicked about this motherfucker that I cannot stand. I don't like them. Okay? I'm just telling you as a spiritual person, I don't like them. They are a fucking problem. But that's another topic. Some people may say that's politically incorrect to say that, but speaking from a spiritual perspective, I am telling you, you need to slow. Riri people are the most dangerous people on this goddamn planet. Hold on. Okay. And then you have this, because we're not going to go dragging on that. Nobody is truly friendly. Nobody comes in the aims of friendship sincerely. Nobody. Only in America do you have friends before lovers. And that's just a spy before you become a lover. That's just someone watching and being around you before they become your lover. That's someone finding things to pick up, to manipulate, and pull apart before they become your lover. That's what friends before lovers is. And I knew for something in me, the older I have gotten, I do not do friends before lovers. It's a lie. If we want to be together, we should just be together and get to know each other. What's the difference if we're friends getting to know each other versus if we can just be together to know each other? I remember a woman used to be like, she used to read for me. She's like, how long have you known this person? And this, that, and the third. And it's like, it doesn't matter. You can know somebody for years and still not know them. And I would always have this argument. You can know somebody for years and still not know them. You have complete strangers fighting each other, just like the party line. You have complete strangers grabbing people's information and going back and running and tell it, just like the party line. You have people dragging and talking about people's family members dying and all kind of stuff, just like the party line. Social media is a crack. It's a cheat code. Crack, meaning like a crack in something. It's a cheat code. Social media is a space where you end up with people that you will never ever talk to or have ever been friends with. There are people I think about that I have met from social media. Most of my relationships, social media. No, actually, I've had friendships that were not social media. Okay. And there are people that, if you really think about it, you would have never been their friend. You would have never talked to them. You would have never crossed paths with them ever in your life. I can tell you right now, person I talked to before I did the show, I definitely would have crossed paths with them. I definitely would have been in Barnes and Nobles, right there in the aisle, probably reading dream interpretations or something. And they would have walked down the aisle too, and we would have gotten to a very deep conversation. And they would have put me on into books. See, I know that about people in my life. I can sense that more. But there are some people I wouldn't have crossed paths with them. I don't even know if I would have even had took recognition of their existence. And I had to come to terms with that. And here's the thing too. What seems so innocent sometimes is the very thing that can be a detriment. What seems to be just like a kind gesture can be the very thing that's your detriment. You have people online who seethingly hate you and you have no clue. We have online that don't like you because their boyfriend said something about you that they like, just to spite them or just whatever. This is the kind of shit that is on these people mind. Okay? This is the stuff that's on people's mind. These are the aims that people take at people. How many times have you heard people online say, "Oh, this person inspired me to do what I do," but yet that same person turns around and drags that person? Yet that person turns around and drags that person. But like, that person was the one who inspired me to do this. So then why don't you have compassion and understanding for this person? Because you were always jealous of them. People get off on the heartache of celebrities and all of that because they are jealous and envious of them. They wish they had their lives. There's somebody at the job, at my job, who I heard sing, but yet they're the same person that was like, "Oh, you're crazy if you want to be in the music industry," but yet you're somebody who can sing. Incel behavior. And why do you have guys that's such creeps at your job? Such looking at your breasts and your ass that so much we have to have harassment meetings so males can know what they can't even tell you good morning if you don't want to say good morning, okay? Why are these incels created? Why is all this happening? Because these type of males at your job will never get play outside. Nobody would look at them. Have you ever? I have a job that's uniform job. When these males take off their uniform, they look like nothing. I don't even recognize them when I'm in the store. That's what they do. Also, a lot of times at your job, these people be alcoholics and drug addicts and recovering drug addicts. These people be having some fucked up lives in your work world. It was a woman at my job that said, I don't want to be in no relationship with you if I can't put you on my Facebook status that we're in a relationship. I don't want to be in no relationship with somebody where I have to hide that I'm with you. I don't want that. This woman about in her 50s now, and she's just figuring out how to have a proper relationship for herself after having all those children. And this is the same woman that flirts with a lot of people at work. This is the same woman that asked me, who do I like? Because I had my contacts in and my eyelashes done and eyeliner on. She asked me, who do I like? I'm like, I don't like no one. What? I was so thrown off. I was thrown the fuck off by that. I've never had no one ask me who I like. I, I'm grown. I'm not in high school. What you mean? Who do I like? Not these incels, or damn sure not these femcells here, but all these dusties. And girl, what? I was thrown off. But these are the kind of people that you work with. They get over emotional. They take things personal. Their feelings get hurt with coworkers when coworkers do things. They argue with coworkers. It gets so goddamn personal. Damn near people fighting. Okay? It gets so damn personal. Every time. But why does that happen? Why does why? Because it's no different than social media. Social media gets personal. People talk about certain topics, people get mad at people for taking their topics and their points. People come on people panels and stuff, and then people betray them and don't want them no more. People take it personal. Now they bragging on them about their show. People, you think you okay with them, and next thing you know, it's some shady shit going on, just like real life, just like the co-worker world, just like the party line, just like all this stuff. People you think like you find out they don't like you. All kind of crazy ass shit, because it's all one. It's nothing different between the party line, social media, and co-worker world in the dating world. Because you have people dating people at work, which is crazy and the worst fucking thing that you can do. Don't date nobody at work. Please don't date somebody that you work with. It's equivalent to dating somebody on a party line. It's equivalent to dating someone on social media. Don't do it. You have to understand and check your low parts of your life and how it happens. How did you get to this very low part of your life? How did this very low part of your life happen that you made that decision? How? So you have to be able to pay attention. But we're not going to get into that tonight. We're going to get into understanding why you are having problems in your dating world. Why are you having problems dating online? Because online dating, the party line, and co-workers are all the same thing. You get ghosted, you get blocked, you don't understand what's going on. Somebody has a problem with your texting or talking too much or something on the phone, or you didn't text me or you didn't call me. This happened to coworkers too. Somebody has a problem with, how do I say this? Comparing it all. You know, some people just pour everything out. I'm sick, I'm this, I got surgery. Is that not what we hear with coworkers all day? I got some kind of surgery, I'm sick. My eye and my ears, my knee, my back. I gotta take my meds. It's all the same thing. I need some money. Such and such died. We don't have money for the funeral. It's all the same bumbleclot thing. But how do you navigate in all this? How do you navigate in all of this? I'll tell you how you navigate. You don't need friends. Friends have to be for an absolute purpose. Okay? Your coworkers show proof of purpose. So you have to build coworkers, people you make money with, or people you exchange money with, exchange goods with. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about physical money or physical things. Oh, this neighbor always, whenever they throwing stuff away or any decorative things, they pass it to me and I decorate my bathroom with it. That's fine. This is the one that sometimes they cook certain things and they give it to me and I eat from them, or I even buy a plate from them. That's fine. You see, co-workers, neighbors are co-workers. You see, you have an exchange with the person in a purpose, not in using. It doesn't matter if you go and you help your friend take their children to school in the morning and you're paid with cash or weed. There's an exchange that is going on there, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You have a friend that you take them everywhere, and if something happens to your car, they help you pay for your money. Excuse me, they help you. They Am I still here? Okay, I am. There's nothing wrong with that. There's an exchange going on there. That's a co-worker relationship. Might I also add something else? When you decide that you want to be with somebody and you decide how you want to have the relationship, whether monogamous or polyamorous, you are getting to know somebody and you are taking your time to know somebody or get to know that person. Therefore, you go on dates together, you spend time together, you talk together, you do what you need to do. But you need to also know that if you happen to meet said the person online, you need to be prepared for a troubled life. Okay? You may have it yourself, but you may need to be, I want you to be prepared for that. And if you decide to date somebody that you've met online, that you have to have a lot of understanding and patience. And if you feel like you love them, you need to fully love them. Because what I have found is these online relationships can end atrociously. Okay? Atrociously. Okay? And I mean, it gets bad. And it's karmically bad how it gets. Me, I was not into anybody. I was selfish. I was severely mentally ill. I was not looking to be close to anybody. I didn't give a damn about them. They were just being used for what they were being used for. And when they got rid of my ass, I did not give a shit. It was just a game I was playing. If I act like I cared, it was only to care to because I wanted something. But I had to stop living like that. And that's online shit. Everybody online that you have ever met, co-workers too, when you get into their lives are very troubled. They are getting away from home to go to work. It's equivalent to them being on social media to get away from home. I've heard about these incels at work that get a sense of power from slutty women at work that they carry relationships with, in these relationships, and two-timing, three-timing women. And they could never get that in the real world. You would never even think so. People who are married and carrying on this behavior at work because they ain't really happy with what they got at home. There's a woman, nothing but ass. That's all you see. And they said she got a whole husband that works at the job. And I said, oh, those are unicorn hunters. I know what that's about. You know, unicorn hunters look for men too, by the way. Yeah. Those are unicorn hunters. No different than online dating. You see how it goes? You know how you go online dating or social media and you see the bitch with a cleavage and her ass poked out? Don't you go to work and see the same shit? Don't she always get attention from everybody? Even women who don't look at women be like, oh gosh, look at her ass is everywhere. She always wearing this and that. She becomes almost this like influencer celebrity to all the women and people around her, and all the men are looking. It's the same fucking thing on social media, the same thing in the work world, the same thing on dating. You be looking like, oh, I see you poking your ass out on the pool table. Your legs is open, your titties is out. Okay, no thank you. I know what you want. It's the same thing at work. I picked up that one of the creeps was sitting around me so they could look at my breast. And I'm like, that's little boy behavior. They must not get none. They must not get none. It is that type of shit. Can't take it personal. Of course, they get off on looking at ass and looking women up and down and looking at titties and looking at bodies and at work because they're deviants. And they're probably jerking off the porn all day, and the women too. Deviants. Sexual deviants. Some of them, they show their sexual deviants at work. Be flirting with each other and talking nasty. People be fucking each other at work. People don't have problems fucking friends. I mean, one chick said to me, I fuck my friends, and I'm like, I don't. It's all of this stuff. I'm gonna tell you something dark, trigger warning here. This actually happened to friends of mine who I met offline, by the way. There was some chick from the party line. I don't remember how they got acquainted with her. They both had a threesome with her. I wasn't around. I think I was working or something. They had a threesome with her. And the next thing you know, they both went to call her again, maybe a month later. And they was like, yo, you won't believe this shit. I said, huh? Because they said how she looked and her body and all kind of shit, right? They say you won't believe this shit. Her mother answered the phone. I said, what? What happened? Said the mother was like, how the hell do y'all know my daughter? My daughter is 15. Bitch. Bitch, you heard me. You heard me, bitch. My daughter is 15. How the hell do y'all know her? And long story short, they found out that she fucking died. Hmm. The girl died. And the mother was on the phone talking to them and telling them and shocked and how did you know what happened to her? Yeah, dead. It be shit like that with these people. And why did that young girl think it was okay to do that? Because first of all, she knew already that people would not know her age, so she was being. I'm just saying, let's call it what it is. She was not telling nobody her age, and more than likely, she was getting fucked by older adults anyway that didn't probably even care how old she was. But unfortunately, she went out in these streets and found out and died. Right? It be shit like that. It be shit like that. People play games like that. People will lie their age like that. You be like, nah, you was not born on 1982. You be 1962, motherfucker. This ain't no 1982. I've had people who were seethingly jealous of their siblings, that their siblings has no clue that the reason their life is so fucked up is because of them. Oh yeah, you got those too. See, that's the thing about online and social media and coworkers. See, when you get close enough to people, you begin to find out how dark their little secrets go. You begin to find out the things that they have done and how it goes. You begin to find out what they have done to their own siblings, their own family members, how they fuck their own family members. You begin to find out all this shit. You begin to find out how sick their own parents are. But why? The question is why? Was social media not to be a place for influencers? Was social media not to be a place for happy people? Isn't it supposed to be a place for intelligence and all this and that? I'm sorry to tell you no. I'm sorry to tell you the truth. The answer is no. When you live a true, honest, happy life, you don't really want to be here. And if you want to be here in this space to talk to people, you come with the purpose of saying something. You come with the purpose on the microphone to have something with purpose. This is why we have podcasting now. This is why we don't have radio shows no more. There's really no show anymore. Anything that's a show is the people who is gossiping and going back and forth with strangers. Those are the shows. But it's podcasting. You have something thoughtful to talk about, a book to read, something to discuss, something where everyone can sit down and pay attention and be still and be in the moment of the thing. There's no more show and the music playing and music request. No one's really doing that. Even your radio shows that play music are still podcasting, have become more podcasting. And there's a reason for that. But this world right here called social media, you need to understand what kind of world you are stepping into. You are stepping into a place where, number one, there are people that you would never fuck with that will come around you, that you would never fuck with in your real world that will come around you. You got people who will come around you for the sake of just trying to find out a bunch of information on you and watch you and shit like that. You have to understand, on social media, you'll have people who are sexual fucking deviants. You have people who will make you a target just so they can just go run and try to destroy your reputation and they don't even know you. You have to know what is coming every time you decide to be on social media. You think that your Patreon is protecting you? It's not. You think that your memberships that you have in the background is protecting you? It's not. Memberships are cheap. Patreons are cheap. I've never seen a Patreon that's $100 minimum. It's $100 minimum to apply for my Patreon a month. Minimum. Who does that? Who's brave enough to do that? No, because they want people to come back there. But if you have something worthy to be said, that's what your Patreon will be worth. And when people go back there, there will be a whole class setting damn near for them to have that will be worth that $100 for that whole month. Even if you push that bitch up to $50 for the month, it will be worth it. But that's not protecting people from listening to you. A sick motherfucker is what they got enough time on their hand to be a sick motherfucker. That's why you got to follow your intuition. Sometimes I just be like, ooh, block this person. Ooh, block this person. Ooh, get away from this person. Ooh, something not right. Ooh, block, 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 block. And that's what I do. I block that person. You have people, they don't know how to have a relationship or keep a relationship because of their personality. People whose self-esteem is so low because of a failed relationship and or marriage, their self-esteem is in the dirt. And I'll be like, you must have already had this kind of self-esteem even when you were married. People who mistreated people in family their own family mistreat people, guiltiness riding on them, all of this stuff, and most of all, sexual secrets. And you need to know that's what you're dealing with. When you go out in this world and you decide to date, however, monogamous or polyamorous, you need to prepare for the very thing that I'm talking to you about. Do you know I had a dream? I need to tell y'all. I had a dream about the ex. Yeah, the ex. And this is not the first time, nor the fucking even third time I've dreamed of this person. And I'm like, why am I dreaming? I'm always going into it's always dark outside. And it's like, because this person misses me and misses talking to me, and everything I ever told them came about. But why do I need to hear that? And why am I going to bring you around? You betrayed me in such a messy way that I don't need you to hurt me even worse. So you have people that this is their kind of behavior, and they can come back into your life just to have a better aim. I talked about this. I would love to get contact back with the friend from high school to talk to her to help her understand what had happened. But I don't know if I can because I don't know how to trust it and what's the purpose of the friendship. What do we have friends for? What are friends for? The only type of friendships I care about are relationships that are that are partners. I like partners. But co-workers, those are my co-workers. Now, when it comes to all of this in America, we're fucked, people. If you gotta go to the extreme and get a little magic in there, light a candle, write down some affirmations, write down exactly what you need in a partner, whatever, to manifest something, then that's great. You can manifest it, then that's great. But we are in a time where we cannot be foolish. And we are all, most of y'all here, are at an age where you damn sure can't be foolish. And you sit down and watch people be foolish and silly, just playing in life, just playing around in life. And you got to understand the mental capacity of what is going on there. People being manipulative and all this dark psychology stuff coming out with reason. You have to know what's going on in there. When you have somebody online called, who I call Natoya Never, even though her name is Natoya Forever, I say Natoya Never, who actually made it on big TV, you have to start questioning. She's in this relationship. She decides to take her family to Atlanta. And we all looking like, girl, you don't take your family to no Atlanta, girl. If you go to Georgia, you go to the mountains of Georgia. You go to the family side of Georgia. You go to Savannah side of Georgia. You don't go to Atlanta. That's not where you take your family. And then she ends up on TV doing all this dumb shit to leave this man who loved her, took care of her and shit, to say that she's for the streets. This is what this bitch said. She said, I am for the streets. And then it made me think, are those parents even her real parents? Because I remember her running around in the house on her YouTube video with the two parents in the background speaking a Caribbean accent. So was that even her real parents? Probably not. Probably a case of an adopted family member within the family or a known family. Doesn't make sense. Then you have people like Shameless Maya. She met Max when she went to Switzerland, and she never forgot about Max. And so she ran off from LA to go be with Max and completely went Caucasoid on everybody. And I knew exactly what the fuck happened. But that's another topic. And the thing is, still, she wanted to go run and be around Africans. But the point is, this Max guy, I think she claimed that she met him in Switzerland or she met him online or something. But either way, this was an online person who ended up making this kind of choice. Okay? And now she is a mother now and everything, and she did it later in her life, and she looks great. But the thing is, this person is very troubled. Her and Latoya Never was also friends. So I'm making a point here. And we find how messy Jackie Anna is. I've been telling y'all about Jackie Anna for years. I told y'all I don't fuck with her. I don't like the comment she made about Gothic and Alana and stuff. I felt some type of way about that. I ain't gonna hold you. And I don't like the way she picked that Jeffree Star. She picked that fight. I'm telling y'all, she picked that fight with Jeffree Star. Why would she pick a fight with Jeffree Star? Because it was obvious Jeffrey fucks with white people. It's obvious that it wasn't no secret that Jeffrey only fucks with white people. So it was easy to just attack him and be like, well, he said that rat. You know, he talks like that. He calls people rats. And she just had to cause a big scene. So much they broke Jeffree Star so there he ended up being with a black man that was a basketball player and got them putting edges, gelling edges and shit and wearing lace fronts looking crazy out here. Just to prove that he's not racist, even though that all was a very everything he did was very racist. This is social media. It's distractive. It's disturbing. It's trolling. It's the same thing at work. What do you think it is when you at work and you sit by yourself or you go outside by yourself and you don't want to be bothered with nobody? What do you think that is when you take your food and you go somewhere else to eat? When it's time to go for lunch. What do you think that is? It's the same equivalent thing on social media when you go to your channel and you mind your business or you do what you want to do here and you not bothering nobody and here come all these people coming around wanting to be in your space and see who you are and show your face, you should become a partner and all this kind of thing when it's only about you saying what you had to say. And then you be on social media and you have people who are the biggest gangsters that just talk to you any kind of way or talk to people any kind of way are just so nasty and seething and fucked up. It's like you have to ask yourself, are you this way outside of social media? And then sometimes you go outside and there are people that way. And it's like, whoa, this is a place of business, lady. What is your problem? Sir, what is your problem, place of business? Because you have a lot of people who are slow. Slow people don't have proper social cues. Slow people always yelling and screaming and they don't really have it. They don't have the brain capacity to realize what is going on. People who are slow are more susceptible to being mean. Do you know how many people online feel ugly? I used to feel ugly. Oh yeah, somebody like me, I used to feel fucking ugly. But there's a lot of people online who feel ugly. And so they live life reflecting that very ugly. There's people on dating sites that feel ugly. And they're online. They're sitting here. You see this very beautiful person, and you're not understanding why the fuck are they acting so ugly. And you think that they're acting that way because they know that they're good looking. And a lot of times that's not the case. They don't feel like they look that good. They don't feel that beautiful. They have done such horrific shit that there's no way they can ever look in the mirror or face themselves and say that I am beautiful. No matter what you say, words can't bring me down. They can't get to that point in the mirror. Everything brings them down. Everything brings them down. They bring themselves down. I have people confess to me that they wanted to fuck their own family members. I have people have told me that they have even that if you listen to the story long enough, they have fucked their own family members. You know, all these topics of how girls dress and what they look like, women's breasts being out. You know, all these topics that we hear that just sound so goddamn high schoolish and asinine. Is that the word? It comes from these people from the party line. Party line men hate women. Party line men are also bi and trannies and DLs. Party line men have mothers that are femcells and they hate women. Party line men also try to recruit men to hate women or keep putting that in them. Party line men are very against men who are very in love and accepting of the life and lifestyle of their women. These are where in social media is the same way. And it started from the party line. Party line men are sexual deviants. Okay? SA of children, the M word, the M mo, yeah, that word, the creeps. Yeah, these are all your party line men. They hate women. A lot of your trans women are men from the party line that are trans. I hate you, bitch. Bitch, you bleed, and da 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 da. And it's like, well, that's the thing that you hate. You bleed, bitch. You this, your hole and pussy, and this is like that's what you hate about me. You hate that I'm a real woman. Okay? Party line men are gay men who've been to jail and talk about it. Party line men are men who've been in and out of jail. Party line men live a very DL life with trannies. That's a party line man. Party line men. Party line men are the worst. Fathers. They are the worst. Women have to fight to get them to do what they need to do as a father. That's the party line man. A lot of time he's a very neglectful father or a very neglectful mother. How many times have you noticed this? See at work, I start putting something together. I was like, oh, this particular guy right here, this is a I hate black women type man. I don't fuck with black women. I fuck with them Hispanics and them Latins. They better, you know. Not so much of a passport bro energy, but I only fuck with anything other than the black woman. I felt that energy. Another guy, definitely passport bro. His name says enough. Passport. When I look at him, passport bro. Told me about a travelers group that he's in. I was like, oh yeah, this is a passport, bro. He's done been to Cuba. He done been to different places already. Brazil. Oh yeah, passport, bro. we know when we hear Brazil, we already know what it is, right? That's a passport, bro. And these are the people I work with. So what's the difference? What the fuck has been the difference? The same trolls, the same people who instigate, the same fucking people who harass you, the same people who play games, come in your room as one name and act as a character, and another game name and act as another character. want to talk to you behind the scenes offline just so they can be mean to you. People who got issues with light skin and dark skin shit. That's another thing from the party line. I'm a I come from an immigrant background and you don't. You Americans, da 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 da. Excuse me. That's another party line shit. That's a big party line one. Oh yeah, you Americans and black people and nobody likes y'all. All of this shit is on the party line. People talking about people's kids, people with uh disabled children, special needs children, people coming on the party line and talking about it to people. People not having no goddamn boundaries. Do we need to get to that part? Oh shit, hold on. People who don't got no goddamn boundaries. People who always just want to get information and shit out of you. I sat around in my life and I thought about something and I cared about somebody and they told me that I was just a stranger on the phone. And I remember thinking to myself, no, you were just a weirdo stalking me on the phone. And I didn't write that down. I thought that. And that was the moment where I had to see what is so fucked up about social media and people online and how I got here in my life to even be so acquainted with people from social media and online. I thought social media was safe. I ended here with this. I thought social media was safe. I thought I can build my brand and my website and my blog and everything that I did and my everything that I was doing. I thought it was safe. I felt it was a space for me to practice my writing and scribing and the things that I do. Put things together. I thought that was safe. See, I thought it was safe. I thought it was safe to get on a radio show, have a good time, play music, plan it, build a logo, copyright it, all of that stuff, get some partnerships. I thought that was safe to do, but it's not safe. But it's not safe. But it's not safe. And that's what I had to come to see. And I had to learn that the hard way. You got people coming at you. You got jealousy up to wazoo. You got envy up to wazoo. You got people who just want to hate you just to hate you. You got people who just have fucked up lives. They just so fucked up. They fucked up. And they just want to project the fucked upness onto you. That's all it is. I sit here and I look at certain things and just hear me out on this. And I like watching like the crime TV shows. They're really good. People who really care in the community to help find missing people or solve a crime and we put our heads together and I actually like shows like that, right? And I noticed that there'll still be people who find a way to troll, especially in the topics of politics and stuff. And I remember one lady, she was just like, oh, all these trolls. She was just so exhausted with all these trolls. And, and that's fine. And then you have people like myself who have, these very big topics that I talk about and this and that. And it just always seems to be in the cracks of someone who has to say something negative, who doesn't really, is really someone who doesn't get or comprehend what you are talking about, but they still have an opinion. But ask them to join what the conversation about. This is the slow people that I'm talking about. These are the kind of, because you know that there's some slow behavior, because why are you in a space that does not match you? Why are you sitting around in a space where you just don't agree with anything? Do you not agree? Do you sometimes agree? Do you think what's going on, sir, ma'am? That's slow behavior, everybody. And this is a lot of what I can't, it's hard for me to use the word mental illness, because, mental illness has just been so, you know what I mean? What people have done to that word, because there are people who we have experienced trauma, which has caused our mental illness, which is not our fault. And we don't walk around here trying to hurt people or be abusive to people. You get what I'm saying? While there are people who their mental illness and mental conditions, they are doing such wickedness with it because that's their response to what has happened to them. You got people, all they do is fight. All they do is fight. That's slow behavior, to just be physically out here fighting, especially once you get to a certain age. You don't want to be fighting nobody. You know, it's more chances that you're taking. Or people who want to fight, even verbally fight. That's slow behavior. Somebody is always trying to pick some kind of verbal altercation with you. That's slow behavior. And if you're finding yourself doing that to somebody, I need you to know that you're acting out on slow behavior. You're not dealing with mentally equipped people. This is why when you talk about something that's very deep, with depth and some kind of purpose, these people got so much to say. You become a demon, a devil, or this or that, because they can't reach those depths of where you are going in the conversation. And it may just be a very simple conversation. You have people who have to get up in places and explain themselves before they start talking. Why does somebody who is shuffling tarot cards, why do they have to have this introduction? Why do they have to explain the devil card? Why do they have to explain? You shouldn't have to do that. That is your space for other people who believe in what you're doing. There's no reason for you to explain anything. Slow people have fucked up a lot for many of us. When I think about the situation in the coven that I went through, I'm like, this was slow behavior. This was online shit. How is someone having an event and I physically come to the event because I'm a part of the circle, and you call it weird for me to be there and all that shit? Am I not a part of the circle? No, bitch, you're weird. This is basically your social media buff. You're a social media buff. So you just want to have a low key poly coven. Got it. Got it. And this is social media. This is the cracks that I'm talking about. These are the people who get to come into your world that you would never have let if I was at an actual event. Something in me probably would have known then, like, I'm good on me and coming to this shit with y'all. You see what I'm saying? Social media does it. Oh, I'll do this because shit, it'll kill time while I'm here. I can look at it before I go to sleep and all this type of shit. That's dangerous. You got to be mindful of that. Watch Judge Judy and go to sleep, for goodness sake. So you have to get into understanding. There's a high percentage of incels and femcells and deviants and men, people who come around to gather information on you and stuff out here more than you think it is. Let's go back to the conversation I had. We know over here or any place where we're males are decentered, we know that men are not anybody's friend. But you know what I have to say about males not being your friend? I'll say females ain't your friend either. Women are not your friend either. How do you feel to hear that part? How many women have been so betrayed in friendship by another woman and we just was like, I do not understand. I'm trying to help this bitch. I am trying to help this bitch. And she is acting the fuck her whole fucking ass out and I am only trying to fucking help her. Let me tell you a little story and let me tell you something. How things start is how it's going to end. That is a true fucking fact. If someone tells you, when I first met you, I didn't like you, they ain't going to like you even more. There's no such thing as not liking somebody and then liking them. I want you to hear me. Write that down in your journal. There's no such thing as not liking somebody at first and then liking them. If you don't like them at first, you don't like them at all. It never comes around. I promise you that. How it starts is how the shit will end. Something in you, something in the subconscious knows that this person still does not like you. How do you go from being with, not liking somebody, to being a friend with them, and then suddenly you like them and you learn to like them? You still not gonna like them. That's just how it goes. That's just, I just want y'all to understand that. These are the people I had around me. They did not like me, but they were around me. You know why that happened to me? Because I was in a relationship with somebody who did not like me, but they were. You see how it works? And if you continue on with this is where you're gonna get your hard lesson. Most of the time, the person who sits up under you the most when you're hosting a show, it's one thing with people who are participants, like actual participants, like participating in a show, you're talking and actually sharing books and information with you. Those are the people that are actually sincere, because even slow people can't emulate that. They cannot emulate being a genuine person. They don't know what that is. Okay? So, yeah, those people are good. People who are active in listening to what you talk about or write about, but also, participating. That can't be faked. I promise you that can't be. But the person that's sitting up under you and just sitting up under you, and when you ask them a question about something, they disappear in the chat room, they don't really answer it, and this, that, and the third, that's the one who doesn't like you. Okay? That's the one who's the opposite of you. That's the one, once you talk to them, they're going to repeat everything that you say, and they're going to say it's scripted. They're going to say everything that they feel that you're going to want to hear. And then you find out that the bitch hangs around with nothing but males, and then you have to question yourself, did somebody send this bitch to you? And this is the type of stuff that happens. When you sit here, you heard people say about the pink pill doing certain things on their pages and this and that. These people are not lying about the pink pill doing that. Just want to tell y'all that. These people are not lying about people harassing and trolling them from big channels. They're not lying about that. I cannot give you a full guide, right, on the answer of, well, Lamenti, how do I navigate this? You know, how do I don't want to put this water by nothing electronic. How do I navigate going through this? How do I navigate now that I know these things about people online and this and that? That's something you're going to have to figure out. And maybe in time I can help you with that. But right now I don't have an answer. And the only thing I can tell you is you need to have boundaries and compartmentalize. What does that mean? That means that that means that you understand what a parasocial relationship is. You understand what these parasocial relationships that you benefit from. You understand what an emotional connection is, an emotional relationship, and what kind of relationship you have in that emotional relationship. Emotional again, because it's key. Or that, or that mental connection you have with somebody. Because if you have a relationship or you have a partner, it's more mental than anything, right? You need to understand that why you have somebody around you that you call a friend. What is their purpose? How much information do y'all share? How close are y'all? How often do y'all see each other? And do you really need to have this friend? And honestly, what be honest with yourself about this person that you may call a friend. And that's something you have to dissect for yourself. At this point, nobody needs those. I'm being real with you. A friend is a coworker. That's how I think you need to learn how to see it. Okay? A friend is a coworker. Okay? Like that's the only thing I could tell you with that. Online dating. Compartmentalize. If you're truly dating, then date. If you have a template, write it down. Have questions. Pay attention. What are the signs that someone's going to ghost you? What are the signs that this may not really work out as I keep texting and talking to them? What did I see on their page? How many pages have I seen by this person? What what is going on with, like, you got to dig into all these different things. I have somebody I call a friend that I met from online and we talk all the time. We have a Libra connection. There's things about her Libra ways and things about my Libra ways that we both get. But we also benefit from each other as well. Because hey, I get a good laugh and I don't get too personal with her life. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I compartmentalize that connection with that person. And that person can come visit me in my home and everything. Like, but it's compartmentalized. These are the things that I can tell you. But online and stuff, I'm not really stressing that because I don't do that. I tell you guys where to find me. I tell you guys to get on my DM and I'll respond to you then. And you guys, and I'll get to you guys and I get you. Some people, y'all text me and all that stuff. And I get it. Sometimes it ends up becoming a show, but it takes time because I have to sit down and write and think about it and I have to present it. This is my relationship. It's not personal. It's just I prefer to text. And if I can talk, I'll hop on and talk. Like my other homie in Cali, I'll be like, yo, what's up? Let me tell you about this, da 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 da. And we have a good ass laugh about it. And that's what it is. And I'll be like, yo, such and such is coming to town. I bought the tickets for you. And they're like, oh, no, it's cool. I'll go get it. That's the relationship I have with them. Then I have my bandmate, write songs together. So these are the things and the ways I compartmentalize people. But the person who is the most closest to me are my partners, or the people who I'm in relationships with. Those are the people who are the closest to me. Those are the people that I allow to be the closest to me. Yes, people are co-workers and stuff. I have a co-worker that knows my grandma died and all that kind of stuff. We talk and this and that. And but that's it. Today I helped her get her bag and stuff for work. I did that for her. And I did not mind. I go on break, I'll be like, you need anything? And I go get it for her. I'm always just there for her. And if she was my neighbor, I would still be there for her. That's just how it goes. You just got to compartmentalize how you have your relationships. Do I think that lady is going to betray me and be no? I no, not at all. I can feel it. I don't think that she don't like me or not. I don't think that at all. I gotta send her some videos tonight. Told her it's gonna be coming late, but she gonna get some videos for me. And boy, I'm gonna load her up with some videos after I finish this show in another 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. So that's the only way that I can help you with that. But I also very much know what I'm doing. It's one person I talk to, shout out to you. We get into deep discussions when we talk. And they be like, oh, gotta go to bed, gotta go. I'll be like, all right, go ahead. Talk to you, catch you around. That's how we cool. That's our parasocial relationship. But I don't think you should be getting personal with people that you met online. If you just want to be their friend. I just don't think it should get that deep. You get what I'm saying? I just think you just have to be mindful. When you are doing your show, and I'm doing this show, it's never supposed to get personal. It is only for show purposes and video presentation, blogging presentation, and such. And if anybody want me, I'm in a very professional space. So therefore, they're going to go into a professional direction of how to reach me or get questions answered. You have to, even if you just have a regular social media, you have to see it that way. This is my social media. But even on a dating site, it's the purpose of dating, but still, you still have to vet the same type of way. And I'm just going to leave it there because you got to understand that these fem cells and incels, they don't really know how to keep understand relationships, whether opposite or the same sex. They don't have it. They're socially Riri. They have some damning shit with their parents going on there. Religious ideologies, extreme feelings, because they are slow. They're not fitting into the world even when they're here. When I look at the males at my job, I be like, oh, ain't no woman. When I see this pretty woman walking with one of them, I be like, why, girl? Why would you be interested in that? But they work together. And that's probably how he came into her world and whatever. This is where you have to be careful. The men at work bother me because of the way that they walk. They don't lift their goddamn feet. The one guy I talk to, he lifts his feet when he walks. And he's cool. He plays his part at work and nods his head or whatever, whatever. But I think he's sincerely cool. I think I could go to the bar after work with him and chit chat. And I think he would be smart and talk about things that's interesting. That would make me laugh. You know, I mean that's the kind of coworker. He's the one who lifts his feet. The rest of the guy, they don't lift their feet when they walk. They drag their feet when they walk. They have this slow look in their eyes when you look at them. These guys don't have good posture, just like Mr. Mercedes. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Mr. Mercedes more than likely will be the next topic concerning the party line and social media and the co-worker world is all the same. I'm gonna continue this going, you know what I mean? Probably when I wake up in a few hours. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Yeah, man. I'm out.